how our fabrication design or project is more than just an arts and crafts project. I learned so much through using the laser cutter, even though what I did wasn't really what I would actually do with a lesson. I learned just so much from experiencing using it. Although the projects that can be created with the laser cutter can be decorative, you can make signs, you can make postcards, you can, you know, create snowflakes to hang in the classroom. Using the laser cutter is so much more than that. First of all, students are using their understanding of mathematics principles in real life. They're figuring out the size of objects and the size of the digital design, and it requires the students to resize and rotate the designs. Quoting from our textbook, Martin and Stager, on page 113, they say, students have to take into consideration how the bit moves over the surface of the material's x and y axis, but also moves on the up and down z axis to make the cuts. That's from page 112, but I think that's really true. It takes mathematical principles and puts it into real life for them. As I worked on the etching glass, I had several errors and I had to rethink how to orientate the PDF and resize the document. I had a difficult time figuring out where the image would actually etch on the glass, and if the image never seemed to etch the same size. I had it really large, I had it really, really super tiny one time. And lastly, I could not figure out how to rotate the image when I tried to etch on the glass. Even in my last final glass, I never figured out how to put it in the right direction. And did that for 2 hours, then I never figured it out. Though through using the laser cutter, the students, and I as well, learn, quoting from Stager again, thoughtful design, planning, precision measurement, and spatial skills. And that's from page 120. They really learn how to manipulate their design to put it into like a real life printed material. During the design process and use of the laser cutter, educators can teach and hold class discussions about intellectual property, copyrights, environmental issues, safety and ethical issues. Is it safe to be able to use either a laser cutter to, design inappropriate material, or a 3D printer? Can you create a gun? Is that ethically okay? And even if students are creating a decorative item, they're still learning and they're still using measurements, scaling, geometry while they're creating. As long as they continue to take what they design and try it again and manipulate and change, they're tinkering and they're learning. So I think it's a worthwhile endeavor for sure, not just an arts and crafts project.